Most people don't realize that a fruit tree that refuses to produce isn't a lost cause. It's actually a tree that just needs a wake-up call. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that using 3 incredibly old techniques that our grandparents swore by and that you can do right now with things you already have lying around at home. Take a look at this orange tree right here. Small, compact, and absolutely covered in fruit. And this fig tree over here, look at how it's bursting with new growth. These are the kinds of results we get when we apply the methods I'm about to share with you. Simple, fast, and anyone can do them. Let's get into the first one. Method 1. The bark window. This first technique is one of the most fascinating ones you'll ever come across, and the results it produces are genuinely hard to believe until you see them for yourself. All we're going to do is expose a small section of the branch by carefully removing a piece of bark. You'll need a clean, sharp knife, nothing complicated. We're going to make 2 horizontal cuts about 2 centimeters apart, then connect them with a vertical cut on each side, and gently peel away that small rectangle of outer bark to reveal the layer beneath. We're not going deep, we're not damaging the wood, just that outer skin and that thin greenish layer right underneath it. Now, on a thicker branch, you'll want to make the window slightly larger, so the effect is proportional. On a younger or thinner branch, something small, like what you're seeing right now, is absolutely enough. And here's something very important. You do not do this to the entire tree. Apply it to only a few selected branches, or at the very most, half of the tree's total branching. That balance matters. So what is this actually doing? When the tree detects that controlled wound, it interprets it as damage, as a threat to its survival. And the moment that happens, a physiological survival response kicks in. The tree's entire priority shifts. It stops just sitting there, and it starts thinking about one thing: reproducing. And reproduction for a fruit tree means flowering, and flowering means fruit. That's exactly why this works so well. Once the cut is clean and ready, take a fresh piece of aloe vera, slice it lengthways, and press the gel side directly onto the wound. This part is optional, but I strongly recommend it. The aloe keeps that area moist, creates a natural protective barrier, and dramatically reduces the risk of fungal infection or bacteria getting in. Secure it in place with a bit of twine or a couple of zip ties. Don't worry about them. They'll loosen and fall off on their own over time. Method 2. The wire technique. Now let's talk about the second method, and this one is slightly more direct, but just as effective. Some people actually get even better results with this one than with the first. All you need is a piece of ordinary wire, the kind you'd find in any hardware store, or honestly just left over from something else around the house. What we're going to do is coil it around a branch, nice and evenly, leaving roughly a centimeter of space between each loop. That's it. Wind it around, keep the spacing consistent, and move on. Now, as the branch continues to grow and expand, that wire naturally begins to apply a gentle, steady pressure. It slightly restricts the flow of sap moving up and down through that branch. And here's what's clever about that. The tree senses the restriction. It reads it as a survival signal. And once again, that same physiological response is triggered. The tree pushes energy into reproduction, blooming increases, and fruit production follows right behind it. The key word here is slightly. We are not cutting off circulation. We are not strangling the branch. Think of it more like a gentle squeeze, just enough to get the tree's attention. And this is critical. Once you start seeing flower buds forming and the tree clearly responding, take the wire off. We're not leaving it there indefinitely. The goal is simply to trigger the response. Once the tree has woken up and is on its way, remove the wire completely and let it do the rest on its own. Method 3. Bending the branches. The third method is probably the most ancient of all 3, and what I love about it is that it requires absolutely nothing. No cuts, no tools, no materials you need to go out and find. Pick a branch, ideally one that's been unproductive, and very slowly, very gently, begin to guide it downward. You're applying a gradual, consistent bend. You want to feel a little resistance, a little tension, but you are not snapping it. You're simply redirecting it. To hold it in position, you can use a piece of twine tied to a stake driven into the ground nearby, or if your tree is in a pot, loop the string around a screw fixed to the edge of the pot and tie it off. The goal is that the branch stays in that lowered tension position on its own without you holding it. What's happening inside the tree is the same story as the other two methods, just triggered differently. That altered angle and constant tension reads as an environmental stress signal. The tree responds the way it always does when it feels threatened. It prioritizes reproduction. More flowers appear on that branch, and more fruit follows shortly after. Again, once the tree starts blooming and you can see it's producing, release the tension. Untie the string, let the branch return to its natural position, and step back. The tree will take it from there. The full moon bonus. Now I want to share something extra with you, because this is honestly worth knowing. People who have spent their entire lives growing food, farmers, rural growers, people with deep roots in the land, consistently report better outcomes when these techniques are carried out during a full moon phase. The thinking behind it is that during a full moon, sap activity in the upper parts of the tree, the branches, the stems, the shoots, is significantly more intense. So when you apply any of these methods during that window, the tree's response tends to come faster and stronger, and your overall success rate goes up noticeably. It's an old piece of wisdom, but the results people get speak for themselves. So there you have it. 3 methods that have stood the test of time, that require nothing exotic, and that can completely transform a fruit tree that's been refusing to cooperate. The bark window, the wire technique, and branch bending. Each one works by triggering the same thing, a survival instinct that pushes the tree toward blooming and fruiting. If you've got a tree in your garden or orchard that just won't produce, try one of these, or try all 3 on different branches. Pay attention to the moon cycle if you can, and I think you're going to be genuinely surprised by what happens next. Drop a comment below and tell me where in the world you're watching from, and which tree is giving you the most trouble. I read every single one, and a lot of my upcoming videos come directly from what you share with me. If you found this useful, hit like and share it with someone who's got a stubborn tree they can't figure out. Subscribe if you haven't already, because there's a lot more of this coming. Old knowledge, real results, and nothing complicated. The tree that's been letting you down, it's about to change its mind.